Hey there, my name is Brandon. I'm an aviation maintenance supervisor working out of the Pacific Northwest. I work for a major airline. I wanted to make a video today going over one of the dirty dozen in aviation. Essentially, what the dirty dozen is 12 different topics that have led to aviation disasters, crashes, things that we do as humans that can compromise the safety of working on the job, specifically in aircraft maintenance. So the one I want to talk about today is communication, and what my take is on it after being in this industry for 7 years. I started as a technician, I was a lead mechanic, and now I'm a maintenance supervisor. So the place I've seen communication break down the most is turnovers after working a job. Sometimes an aircraft can go out of service, and after troubleshooting it, the decision has been made that a certain component needs to be changed out, right? Could be an actuator, anything lengthy, which takes several shifts to complete. I've seen it a couple times now where there's been work done to the aircraft, and the technician that is getting off duty will, whether it's forgetting, they're tired, just for whatever reason, they forget to do a turnover. And everything we do in aviation maintenance, it's all documented, right? So let's say they're changing out a hydraulic actuator, and they remove the old one and they're in the process of installing the next one. That mechanic's supposed to go back and document in the log page or the log book that they removed this actuator and that they are down to step so and so of the maintenance manual. A lot of times these tasks that are in the AMM, they can be 20-30 pages long, and it's critically important that the mechanic taking over the job from the previous mechanic knows exactly what step they're on, because they have no idea what the last guy did, especially if they forget to do a proper turnover. It's supposed to be a written turnover and also a verbal turnover of everything going on. But I've seen this also where the next shift is coming on duty and there's a lot of stuff going on. There could be several out of service airplanes or even gate calls going on. And so it's everybody's responsibility on the shift. The supervisors, the leads, the mechanics, everybody working together to do this job as safely as possible. And so that's one way communication is critical, is ensuring the next guy coming on the duty knows what's going on and knows exactly what step that the previous mechanic's on, and just knows that everything has been completed prior to that. Because like I was saying, some of these jobs can be very complicated. There's lots of parts, lots of stuff, a lot of bolts, nuts have to be torqued properly. Another thing with communication, there's also the safety aspect of working around aircraft in general. There's lots of moving parts, even something as simple as actuating the flaps and slats on the ground. There has to be a person on the ground that actually walks around the aircraft and makes sure that everything is clear. So when the person in the flight deck puts the flaps and slats down, they know they're not going to hit anything. Or to make sure that nobody is working on the flaps or slats while someone else is doing maybe ops checking them for whatever reason. I've seen that also, to where somebody is going to start like a lube, for example, of the rollers on the slats, and then another person is doing an op check because they're working on a different task card. If those two guys are not communicating to one another for whatever reason, it could be that they don't like working together. I mean, I've also seen that. So generally there's rules in place to just ensure that anytime you're going to do something major, like moving flight controls, there has to be a person on the ground to watch to see what's going on. But things happen. I've seen flaps and slats collide with stuff just because, I don't want to say mechanics are being neglectful, but they're just not doing their due diligence with ensuring everything is safe around the aircraft. Even something as simple as running an engine, because after every night, at least with overnight maintenance here, with the work that we do, even changing something on the engine, like an IDG, like doing, let's say we change an IDG, which is a generator on the engine that allows it to produce power for the aircraft. Changing that requires a leak check, and to do a leak check, you have to run the engine. And again, there's supposed to be 2 guys in the flight deck and 1 person at the nose of the aircraft to observe everything around the engine. The person that actually walks up to the engine to do a leak check, and then a person that mans a fire extinguisher just in case there's a fire. So they all have to be communicating with each other to make sure that they're doing this leak check and that no one walks behind the engine, that nothing was left in front of the inlet, because once an engine starts up and runs, it can suck. It has a very high suction force that can pull anything into the engine. And also behind it, like I was saying, if you're not at a certain distance behind the engine, it can blow stuff into whatever. There's a lot of thrust, which can be dangerous. So those are just a couple examples. There's a lot more I could think of, but I don't want to make the video too long. But thanks for listening, and be safe out there.